Hey, I'm Emma. Welcome to Revenge Pulse, where every story hits different. Hit subscribe and let's dive in. The conversation happened at dinner on a Tuesday. I was eating leftover pasta at the kitchen table, scrolling through work emails on my phone, when Mom walked in with that look on her face. The one I'd learned to recognize over 28 years, the look that meant she'd made a decision, and my opinion wasn't required. "Katie, we need to talk about your living situation," she said. I set my fork down. "Okay, your sister is moving back home." Mom pulled out the chair across from me but didn't sit. She stood behind it, hands gripping the back. "She needs space to regroup after the divorce." "She need your room." I blinked. "My room. It's the biggest bedroom. She'll have Lily with her. She needs space for both of them. You understand. Lily was my niece. She was 6. I loved her. But this was my childhood bedroom we were talking about. The room I moved back into 3 years ago when I started my remote job and decided to save money. The room where I'd been paying $800 a month in rent to Mom and Dad rent they insisted on when I moved back at 25. Where would I go? Primera. Ask it. You're 28. Katie, it's time you had your own place anyway. Mom's voice was matter-of-fact, like she was discussing the weather. Your sister is going through a difficult time. She needs family support. I'm family too. You're established. You have a good job. Your sister just lost everything. Mom finally sat down, and I saw the exhaustion in her face. She needs us, right now. When? She's moving in on Saturday. So, Friday would be good. For you to be out? I looked at the calendar on my phone. Today was Tuesday. 3 days. That's not a lot of time, I said carefully. You don't have much stuff. Most of your furniture is from college. You can get rid of it. Start fresh. She reached across and patted my hand. This is what families do, Katie. We help each other. I nodded slowly. Okay. She looked relieved. Thank you. Your sister will really appreciate this. Does she know that I'm moving out? I mentioned it might be an option. She said she didn't want to impose, but I told her you'd understand. You've always been the reasonable one. The reasonable one. The dependable one. The one who didn't need attention or help or space. After Mom left the kitchen, I sat there for a long time, staring at my plate of cold pasta. Then I pulled out my phone and opened my banking app. The automatic payment was scheduled for Friday, $2,847, to Wells Fargo. Payment description: Sullivan Residence Mortgage. I'd been making that payment every month for 5 years. It started when I was 23, fresh out of college with my first real job in software development. Dad had pulled me aside one evening and explained the situation with the kind of embarrassment I'd rarely seen from him. The housing market crash had been brutal. They'd refinanced at a bad time. Dad's hours at the plant had been cut. Mom's part-time job at the library didn't cover much. We're 3 months behind, he'd said. The bank is threatening foreclosure. We don't know what to do. I'd looked at their mortgage statement. The payment was $2,847 a month. Their loan was underwater. They owed more than the house was worth. Refinancing again wasn't an option. I can help, I'd said. Katie, no, that's not fair to you. Dad, I'm living in a studio apartment that costs $600 a month. I can afford it. Let me help. We'd agreed it would be temporary. Just until they got back on their feet. Maybe 6 months? A year at most. That was 5 years ago. I'd set up an automatic payment from my account directly to the mortgage company. Mom and Dad thought I was just sending them money each month, money that they then used to pay the mortgage. They didn't know I was paying it directly. They thought they were managing it themselves. I'd never told my sister Vanessa. Never told anyone. Because in my family, you didn't make people feel bad about needing help. You just helped quietly and moved on. The reasonable one. The dependable one. Now, sitting in the kitchen with Mom's words echoing in my head, I did the math. $2,847 per month times 12 months, 5 years, equals $170,820. $170,820. I'd paid that toward my parents' mortgage, while living in their house and paying them $800 a month in rent. While Vanessa had gotten married, had Lily, and built what everyone thought was a perfect life. And now, I had 3 days to find an apartment. I opened my laptop and started searching. Wednesday morning, I called my boss and explained I needed Thursday and Friday off for a family emergency. She didn't ask questions. I'd been a reliable employee for 5 years. I had the PTO saved up. I spent Wednesday looking at apartments. The rental market had gotten brutal. Studios that used to rent for $800 were now $1,400. One-bedrooms were $1,800 minimum. I found a place in a complex 30 minutes from my parents' house. One bedroom, $1,750 a month, available immediately. The landlord wanted first month, last month, and security deposit up front, $5,250. I had it, barely, because I'd been making $2,847 mortgage payments for 5 years and still somehow managing to save. I signed the lease that afternoon. Thursday, I rented a U. Started packing. Mom came home from the library around 3. She looked at the boxers and smiled. "You work fast," she said. "I knew you'd handle this well." "Where's Dad?" I asked. "Working late. They've got a big order." She looked around my half-empty room. "You're really taking everything." "It's my stuff." I just meant well. Your sister might need some of the furniture. The bed, maybe. She doesn't have much after the divorce. I looked at my bed, the one I'd bought with my first paycheck. The nice mattress I'd saved for. "She can have the bed," I said quietly. Mom brightened. "Really? That's so generous. Katie, I'll get a new one." That would be another $800 I didn't have. But fine. Per. Vanessa arrived that evening with Lily to check out the room. She pulled up in a brand new Toyota Highlander, a car that probably cost $45,000. For someone who'd lost everything in the divorce, she seemed to be doing okay. "Katie," she hugged me like we were close. We weren't. We'd never been close. "Mom says you're moving out. That's so exciting. Your own place. Yeah. And you're letting me have the bed? You're a lifesaver." She walked around the room, already planning. "I'll put Lily's twin bed over here. My dresser there. This is going to be perfect." Lily tugged on my hand. "Aunt Katie, will you still play with me?" "Of course," I said, crouching down. "Anytime." "Will you come visit?" "Sure." Vanessa laughed. "She's not going far, Lily. Just getting her own apartment." Like a grown-up, the implication hung in the air. That I'd been living with our parents like a child. That moving out was overdue. I didn't mention that Vanessa had lived at home until she got married at 26, or that she'd never paid rent, or that Mom and Dad had paid for her entire wedding $32,000, if I remembered correctly. I was the reasonable one. I kept my mouth shut. Friday morning, I loaded the last of my boxers into the My room looked empty and sad without my stuff. The bed was still. The ride stripped it and washed the sheets, left them folded on the mattress. Mom and Dad were both home to say goodbye. "Call us when you're settled," Mom said, hugging me. "And don't be a stranger. You're always welcome here. Always welcome." In the house I'd been paying for. "Do you need help moving in?" Dad asked. "I'm good. I've got friends helping." I didn't, but I'd figure it out. Vanessa came out with Lily. She'd already started moving her stuff in. Boxers were piled in the hallway. "Thank you so much," Vanessa said. She actually looked sincere. "I know this was short notice. I really appreciate it." "No problem. And honestly, this is probably good for you. You know, independence. Adulting." She laughed. "I remember when I got my first place with Mark. It was so exciting." The place Mom and Dad had co-signed for. The place they'd helped furnish. The place Dad had spent 3 weekends helping renovate. Yeah, I said. Exciting. I hugged Lily goodbye and got in the U. As I pulled out of the driveway, I looked at my childhood home in the rearview mirror. The house with the blue shutters. The garden Mom loved. The basketball hoop Dad had installed when I was 10. The house I'd been paying for. Then I pulled out my phone and opened my banking app. The automatic payment to Wells Fargo was scheduled to process at midnight. I clicked cancel. Then, I went into scheduled payments and deleted it entirely. I put the phone down and drove to my new apartment. The apartment was small but nice. Clean, modern. The kind of place I could make my own. I spent Friday night unpacking boxers and building IKEA furniture. Slept on an air mattress because I'd left my bed with Vanessa. Saturday, I went to a mattress store and bought a bed. Used my emergency credit card because my checking account was nearly empty after the move. Sunday, I meal prepped for the week and tried not to think about the fact that I was now paying $1,750 in rent when I'd been paying $800. Plus the $2,847 I wouldn't be paying anymore. The money was a relief. The silence was harder. Nobody called to see how I was settling in. Monday morning, I logged into work like normal, responded to emails, attended virtual meetings. My life continued as if nothing had changed. But something had changed. I felt lighter and angry and free. The first call came on Monday afternoon. I was deep in code when my phone rang. Mom. I let it go to voicemail. She called again 10 minutes later. Then, Dad called. Then, Mom again. Finally, I answered. Katie, where are you? Mom's voice was frantic. At my apartment, working. The bank called. They said our mortgage payment was rejected. They said there's no payment on file for this month. I took a breath. That's correct. What? Why? What happened? I canceled the payment. Silence. What do you mean you canceled the payment? Mom's voice rose. Katie, we need to make that payment. It's due. The bank said, Mom, I was making that payment. More silence. What? I've been paying your mortgage directly to Wells Fargo for 5 years. You and Dad thought you were paying it, but it was me. I was transferring money to you, and you thought you were paying the bank, but I was paying them directly. I could hear her breathing on the other end. Katie, that's not possible. We've been. Check your bank statements. Check your payment history. You'll see. Why would you? She stopped. 5 years. 5 years. That's. How much is that? $170,82. I heard her gasp. Oh my God, she whispered. Katie, I didn't know. We didn't know. I know you didn't. But why didn't you tell us? Because Dad asked for help, and I helped. And then it just kept going. And you needed it. So I kept paying. We need to figure this out, Mom said, her voice shaking. We need to make the payment. The bank said if we don't pay by Wednesday, we'll be in default. Katie, you have to. Mom, I don't live there anymore. The words landed like stones. What? You asked me to move out. So? I moved out. I can't afford to pay $1,750 in rent here and $2,847 for your mortgage and the $800 rent you were charging me. I had to make a choice. Katie, you can't just stop paying. Yes, I can. It's not my house. It's not my mortgage. It's yours. But we can't afford it. Her voice cracked. You know we can't afford it. Then you'll need to figure something out. Refinance, sell, I don't know, but Mom, I've been paying it for 5 years. While living there, and paying you rent, while Vanessa got a free wedding and a free place to live and no expectations. EMDA. This isn't about your sister. It is though. You kicked me out for her. You gave her my room. You made it clear where the priority is. So now you can have your priorities, and I can have my money. Katie, I hung up. My hands were shaking. I'd never talked to my mother like that. never. The reasonable one doesn't talk back. The dependable one doesn't say no. But I just done both. Dad called an hour later. Katie, your mother told me about the mortgage. Okay, is it true? You've been paying it this whole time. Yes. I heard him exhale slowly. Why didn't you tell us? I did tell you. 5 years ago. When you asked for help, I said I'd help with the mortgage. I've been helping with the mortgage. But we thought we were giving you money to pay it. We thought we were still responsible. You were giving me $800 for rent, which was separate. I was paying the $2,847 mortgage directly out of my account. Jesus Christ, he muttered. Katie, that's more than $3,000 a month you were paying. For our house, $3,647 total if you count the rent. And we just asked you to move out. Yes. With 3 days' notice. Yes. Another long silence. Katie, I'm so sorry. We didn't know. If we'd known what? You wouldn't have asked me to move out. Or you would have. I kept my voice level, because I'm trying to understand what would have been different. We would have handled it differently. How? I don't know, but not like this. He sounded tired. Old, what do we do now? About what? The mortgage. We can't make the payment. We don't have it. Then you'll need to figure something out. Katie, please, we're your parents. We need help. I helped for 5 years, while you treated Vanessa like she could do no wrong and treated me like an afterthought, while you charged me rent in the house I was paying for, while you gave her everything and expected me to be grateful for nothing. That's not fair. No, it's not. None of this is fair. But it's reality. I took a breath. Dad, I love you. I love Mom. But I'm done being the responsible one while everyone else gets to be the priority. What are we supposed to do? Talk to Vanessa. She's living there now. Maybe she can help. She doesn't have any money. The divorce, she has a brand new Highlander. That's leased. Then, maybe she shouldn't have leased a brand new car if she doesn't have money. I stood up and walked to my apartment window. Dad, I've been bailing you guys out while living like a broke college student so I could afford it. I'm 28 and I just bought my first real bed. I've been wearing the same winter coat for 6 years. I haven't taken a vacation since I graduated, and none of you noticed. Katie, I have to go. I have a meeting. I hung up. Then I sat down on my air mattress and cried. Tuesday, Vanessa called. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail. Katie, what the hell? Mom is freaking out about the mortgage. She said you've been paying it, and now you're just stopping. We're going to lose the house. Lily's going to lose her home. How can you do this to us? Katie, I deleted it without listening to the whole thing. She texted, this is so selfish. I can't believe you're doing this to Mom and Dad. I blocked her number. Wednesday morning, I got an email from Mom. Katie, please call me. The bank is threatening foreclosure. We're in default. Your father and I are trying to figure out a solution, but we need time. Can you please make just one more payment? 2 high bios, time please. I'm begging you. We'll pay you back. I promise. I stared at the email for a long time. One more payment, who's one more, to give them time. How many times had I heard that over 5 years, just one more month? Just until Dad gets more hours. Just until we refinance. Just until things stabilize. 5 years of just one more. I typed a response. Mom, I can't. I'm sorry. I've given you 5 years and $170,820. I don't have anything left to give. You need to find another solution. I hit send before I could change my mind. Thursday morning, I was on a Zoom call with my team when my phone started buzzing. Unknown number. I ignored it. It called again. And again. During my lunch break, I checked the voicemails. Collection agency. 3 different collection agencies. Actually, all looking for my parents. Apparently, the mortgage wasn't the only thing they were behind on. Friday afternoon, I got a call from Dad. "Your mother's in the hospital," he said without preamble. My stomach dropped. What? Why? Panic attack. They thought it was a heart attack at first, but it's anxiety. "She's okay." But his voice broke. "Katie, she's not handling this well. I'm sorry. We got a foreclosure notice today. We have 30 days. 30 days. Dad, I know. I know we screwed up. I know we took advantage of you. I know we didn't appreciate what you were doing." He was crying now. "But Katie, we're going to lose our home. Where are we going to go?" I closed my eyes. The reasonable one would offer to make one more payment. The dependable one would find a way to fix this. But I wasn't her anymore. "I don't know," I said softly. "But Dad, I can't fix this. Not this time. I'm not asking you to fix it. He took a shaky breath. "I'm just telling you what's happening. Because you're our daughter, and you deserve to know. Is Mom okay?" "Physically, yes. They're keeping her overnight for observation. Emotionally, double quotes, he trailed off. She feels like she failed you. Like we failed you. You didn't fail me. We did though. We let you carry us for 5 years, and never even noticed. We let you sacrifice yourself while we babied your sister. We took the dependable one for granted." He was quiet for a moment. "Your mother loves you, Katie. We both do. We just did a terrible job of showing it." I felt tears on my face. "I love you too," I whispered. "But I can't keep doing this." "I know, and we're not asking you to. We'll figure it out. Somehow." He paused. "But, Katie, thank you. Her. For the 5 years, you did help, even if we didn't know it. Even if we didn't appreciate it properly. Thank you." After we hung up, I sat on my couch, the one I bought at a thrift store for $150, and stared at nothing. I'd done the right thing. I knew I'd done the right thing. So why did I feel so terrible? Saturday morning, Vanessa showed up at my apartment. I only knew because the security buzzer rang. "Katie, it's me." "Lemia." I almost didn't. But I buzzed her in. When I opened the door, she looked exhausted. No makeup. Hair in a messy ponytail. She looked like she'd been crying. "Can I come in?" she asked. I stepped aside. She walked into my small apartment and looked around. At the second-hand couch, the cheap coffee table, the blank walls. "This is where you've been living. For a week?" "Yeah." She turned to face me. "Mom told me. About the mortgage. About what you've been doing." "Okay. Katie, I didn't know. I swear to God, I didn't know you were paying for the house. I know you didn't. But I should have noticed. I should have wondered how they were affording everything when Dad's hours got cut. I should have asked questions." She sat down on my couch without asking. I've been so wrapped up in my own shit. My marriage falling apart. The divorce. Figuring out what to do next. I didn't think about anyone else. I stayed standing. "Why are you here, Vanessa?" "Because I was wrong. About everything." She looked up at me. "I came back home expecting everyone to take care of me. Expecting you to just move over and make room. I didn't think about what you might be sacrificing. I didn't think about you at all." "No, you didn't." "I know, and I'm sorry." She wiped her eyes. "I've been the golden child my whole life. Everything came easy, and when it all fell apart, I just assumed everyone would catch me. I never stopped to think that maybe you'd been catching everyone else." I sat down in my single armchair, the one that didn't match anything. "I can't help with the mortgage," I said. "I don't have it. I'm barely covering my own rent." "I know. I'm not here to ask for money." She took a breath. "I'm moving out." "What?" "I talked to Mark, my ex. We're going to try to work things out. Go to counseling. For Lily's sake. And honestly, for ours. I still love him. I don't know if it'll work, but I want to try." She looked around my apartment again. "And I'm going to pay rent. To Mom and Dad. Whatever I can afford, because you're right, I've been living off everyone else my whole life. Vanessa. No. Let me finish. She met my eyes. You've been the responsible one, the dependable one, and I've been the princess. And that's not fair. It's not fair that you paid for their house while they charged you rent. It's not fair that they gave me everything and expected you to be grateful for nothing. It's not fair that I got your room with 3 days' notice. She stood up. I don't know if they're going to lose the house. Probably. But that's not your fault. That's on Dad for getting into a mortgage they couldn't afford. That's on Mom for not paying attention to the finances. That's on me for not helping. That's not on you. I felt something loosen in my chest. Thank you, I said quietly. I love you, Katie. I've been a shit sister, but I do love you, and I'm going to do better. She walked to the door, then turned back. Also, I'm bringing your bed back tomorrow. You shouldn't have to sleep on an air mattress because of me. After she left, I sat in my quiet apartment and cried again. But, 'tis time, they were different tears. Sunday, Vanessa and her ex-husband brought my bed back. Mark was apologetic and kind. He helped set it up and even brought a new mattress protector. Vanessa told me what's been going on, he said quietly, while Vanessa was in the bathroom. What you've been doing for your parents. That's incredible. And terrible. But mostly incredible. I just did what I thought I should do. No, you did more than anyone should have to do. He tightened the last bolt on the bed frame. Vanessa and I are going to make this work, and part of that is being better family members. To everyone, including you. Monday morning, Dad called. We met with a financial advisor, he said. We're going to sell the house. Take what equity we can, which isn't mook, and move into an apartment. Something we can actually afford. Oh, I said, it's scary. But it's also a relief. We've been underwater for so long, trying to keep up appearances, trying to maintain this life we couldn't afford. He sighed. We should have done this years ago. We shouldn't have let you carry us. Where will you go? There's a 2-bedroom in the complex near the library. It's smaller, but the rent is $1,400. We can afford that with our income. Your mother can walk to work. That's good. Katie, I want you to know something. His voice was firm. No matter what happens, we're going to be okay. We're going to figure this out, and we're not going to ask you for help. You've done enough. More than enough. Dad, I mean it. You're our daughter, not our bank, and we're sorry it took us so long to see that. 3 weeks later, the for sale sign went up in my parents' yard. I drove by one afternoon after work, sat in my car across the street, and looked at the house with the blue shutters. It looked smaller than I remembered. My phone buzzed. A text from Mom. Houses on the market. Showing this weekend. Feels weird, but right. I typed back. I'm sorry it came to this. Her response came immediately. Don't be. This is our lesson to learn. Thank you for teaching us. That weekend, I had dinner with my parents at a small restaurant near their house. Vanessa joined us, with Lily and Mark. It was awkward at first. We didn't really know how to be together now that everything had changed. But then Lily started telling a story about school, and Mom laughed, and Dad ordered appetizers for the table. And slowly, it started to feel normal. Different, but normal. After dinner, Dad pulled me aside in the parking lot. I want to pay you back, he said, the $170,820. It'll take time, but I want to do it. Dad, no, that's not. Katie, I need to do this. Not all at once, maybe $500 a month. Whatever we can afford once we're in the new place, but I need to pay you back. For my own self-respect, I looked at him. Really looked at him. He'd aged in the past month, more gray in his hair, more lines around his eyes, but there was something else there too, something like dignity. Okay, I said. But only what you can afford. No sacrificing, and deal. 2 months after I moved out, my parents moved into their new apartment. It was small, but nice. 2 bedrooms, updated kitchen, a little balcony where Mom could keep plants. I helped them unpack, so did Vanessa and Mark. "This is actually kind of perfect," Mom said, looking around the living room. "No more yard work. No more worrying about the roof or the furnace. Just ... simple." "Simple is good," Dad agreed. That night, after everyone left, I went back to my own apartment. It didn't feel lonely anymore. It felt like mine. I'd bought a real couch nut, expensive, but new. I'd hung some art. I'd painted the bedroom a soft blue that made me happy. I'd started saving money again, now that I wasn't paying someone else's mortgage. I'd booked a vacation, just a long weekend, but still, my first vacation in 6 years. I was learning what it felt like to be something other than the responsible one. It felt like freedom. 6 months after I moved out, I got my first payment from Dad. $500, with a note. One of 342. "We'll get there. Lover, Dad." 342 payments. That would take 28 years. I'd be 56 by the time it was paid off. I knew I'd probably never see all that money back, but that wasn't the point. The point was that Dad was trying, that he recognized the debt, that he was taking responsibility. That was worth more than $170,820. I texted him back, "Thank you, but don't sacrifice. Family first." His response, "Your family too." That's what we forgot. We won't forget again. 1 year after I moved out, I got promoted at work. A $15,000 raise. I celebrated by taking my parents, Vanessa, Mark, and Lily, out to dinner. "My treat? Look at you," Mom said, smiling across the table. "Thriving." "I'm doing okay," I said. "Better than okay," Vanessa added. She'd been living with Mark for 6 months. They were making it work. "You're amazing." "I'm just ... existing," I said. "On my own terms." "That's what makes it amazing," Mom said. She reached across and took my hand. "I'm so proud of you. Not for paying our mortgage or for sacrificing yourself, but for standing up for yourself, for teaching us what boundaries look like. Took me 28 years to figure it out," I said. "Better late than never." Lily tugged on my sleeve. "Aunt Katie, will you come to my dance recital next week? Wouldn't miss it." She grinned and went back to her mac and cheese. I looked around the table. At my imperfect, messy, complicated family. We weren't perfect. We'd probably never be perfect. But we were learning. Learning that love isn't just sacrifice. Learning that help has limits. Learning that the reasonable one deserves care too. And that was enough. 2 years after I moved out, my parents paid off the mortgage on the house that wasn't theirs anymore. The new owners had bought it for asking price. Mom and Dad had walked away with $23,000 in equity after everything was paid. They'd put it in savings. Emergency fund. First time they'd ever had one. We're learning to live within our means. Dad told me over coffee one Sunday. Better late than never. "How's it feel?" I asked. "Lighter." He smiled. "Your mother gardens on the balcony. Now tomatoes yours. She's happy. And you." "I'm working less overtime. Spending more time with your niece. Reading again. I forgot I used to love reading." He looked at me. "Turns out you don't need a big house to have a good life." "No," I agreed, "you don't." We'd made it to payment number 24. Dad had never missed one. $12,000 out of $170,820. Only $158,820 to go. I'd probably never see all of it. But I'd gotten something better. I'd gotten my family back. The real version. Not the version where I was the ATM. The version where we were all just people, figuring it out together. That was worth more than money. 3 years after I moved out, I bought a house. A small house, 2 bedrooms, nice yard, good neighborhood. I could afford it because I'd been saving aggressively, because I wasn't paying someone else's mortgage anymore. My parents came to the housewarming. Vanessa and Mark and Lily brought a plant for the garden. "This is beautiful," Katie, Mom said, walking through the rooms. You did this all yourself. Yeah. I'm so proud of you. And this time, I believed her. Because she'd proven it. By respecting my boundaries, by never asking for more than I could give, by showing up for me the way I'd shown up for them for 5 years. Dad handed me an envelope before they left. What's this? Just open it. Inside was a check for $18,000. Dad, it's the equity from the old house? We've been saving it. Your mother and I talked, and we want you to have it. Not as repayment, we'll keep making the monthly payments, but as a thank you. For helping us when we needed it, and for teaching us when to stand on our own. I can't take this. Yes, you can, because you're our daughter, and we love you, and we want to give you something. He smiled. Not because you need it, because we want to. That night, after everyone left, I sat on my new couch in my new house and cried. Happy tears this time. Healing tears. 5 years after I moved out, I was sitting in my backyard garden when my phone rang. Vanessa. Hey, what's up? Mom and Dad just finished their last payment. I blinked. What? The mortgage payback. Payment $342. They finished early. They saved up and made bigger payments the last year. She was crying. Katie, they did it. They paid you back. I did the math in my head. They'd paid me back in 5 years instead of 20. How? I asked. They got second jobs, both of them. Mom started tutoring in the evenings. Dad did weekend security. They put every extra dollar toward paying you back. They didn't have to do that. Yes, they did. They said you sacrificed 5 years of your life for them. The least they could do was sacrifice 5 years of extra time to pay you back. After I hung up, I just sat there. $170,820. Paid back in full, but more than that, paid back with interest. Not money interest, but the kind that mattered more. The interest of changed behavior, of lessons learned, of love proven through action, not just words. That evening, I had dinner with my parents at their apartment. You didn't have to work yourselves to exhaustion to pay me back, I said. Yes, we did, Dad said. Not for you. For us, to prove to ourselves that we could fix what we broke. You didn't break anything. We broke trust. We broke the balance. We broke our relationship with you. Mom reached across and took my hand, and we spent 5 years putting it back together. The money was just the symbol. So what now? I asked. Dad smiled. Now your mother retires from tutoring. And I quit the weekend job, and we enjoy the life we have. The one we can actually afford, and the one we appreciate, Mom added, because we almost lost it. We almost lost you, and that would have been worth more than any house. The lesson came slowly, over years, not in a single moment. Not in one conversation, but gradually, like seasons changing, like gardens growing, like trust rebuilding. The lesson was this: love without boundaries isn't love. It's exploitation, even when it's not intentional. And the people who love you will respect your boundaries, because boundaries aren't walls. They're foundations, the thing you build relationships on. I'd paid $170,820 to learn that lesson. My parents had paid 5 years of extra work to prove they'd learned it too. And now, sitting in my own house, with my own life, with my family whole, and healthy and honest, I knew it was worth every penny, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt, because I'd gotten something money can't buy. I'd gotten myself back. The reasonable one. The dependable one, but also the one with boundaries. The one who knew her worth. The one who understood that showing up for others starts with showing up for yourself. And that was the real inheritance. Not a house with blue shutters, but a life built on truth, respect, and love that doesn't require sacrifice to prove itself. That was worth everything.